I pray that God allows me to speak clearly and concisely. Um, about, I guess it had to be 20 years ago, I was working on this house next door to me, right here, where that fence is. I was inside of it working on it for this lady named Mary Berry for Century 21. And while I was in there working, this man pulled up and he wanted to see the house. And to this day, I wish I hadn't never showed it to him. Never told him that it was open. I let him in and walk around. Pretty soon he bought it. Within a couple of days, he was over. After he moved in, he was there single. After about a month, I was like cutting his yard and stuff, trying to help him, you know what I'm saying, showing him how to do stuff, where things were. And I thought he was, okay, he was older then, but he was like an older man. And then all of a sudden, one day I'll never forget, he came to my house, drunk as hell, talking all kind of crazy shit, talking about how much he loved me and everything. We were sitting on my porch. He had to be like 70 then. But I talked to him and I said, that's strange. But he was talking about how much he loved me and all this type of stuff. I'll never forget it. Then within, I'll say a year, he got married and moved a younger woman in. I had a dog. Through the years, I started having a hard time. I found this little helpless dog. You know what I'm saying? I named him Puppy Name. I started having hard times, was having hard times feeding him. And I wasn't here a lot. I was having real hard times. Within a short period of time, he had trained my dog to be vicious and named him Jake. And I was like, every time I come over here, he'd be like, Jake did this, Jake did that. We bought Jake this. And I think he even bought Jake collars and toys. And after I started kind of doing well again, I started seeing bananas and oranges and, all kind of bullshit thrown over the fence. Jake, his Jake that he named him, had puppies. One day I walked in the back, looked like the puppies was all shot up with BB holes all in them and stuff. And he was looking crazy. And I had a little stool that I used to sit on the side of the house, right over there in the corner. It came up missing. God told me that it's in that shed back there in the back of his house. He used to always just take it and be sitting on it and stuff. He used to come up. One day I was having sex outside my house, you know what I'm saying, and I heard something. And I opened up the door real quick and came out here, and he was crawling all around up under my windows right here, acting like he was looking for something, picking weeds and shit. His people would leave their lawnmower and lawn equipment all in my yard. He had a person come and cut on that tree. It was a tree right there. And they dropped all of the limbs, bam, bam, while I'm inside of there. I don't know who they were, but all I heard was limbs, blam, 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 while I was in there. It tore up my roof. The roof was brand new at the time. They was dragging and scrubbing those limbs across my house. I told him, I said, James, those tree trimmers, they destroyed my roof. And he told me, well, you get in touch with your insurance and I'll get in touch with mine and we'll come up with something. And he knew how my aunt had did me, and he knew there was no way for me to do anything about that. Within a short period of time, they had turned that house into a church. You see that cross? There's a cross in the front yard. Within a short period of time, they was like leaving me food baskets. See that cross? Look like a grave in the front yard. They had been, leaving food on my porch and acting like they liked me after he married her. Within a short period of time, I found out she was a pastor and he was a deacon. Oh! Oh! That was Walsh's just attacked me. That's what kind of demons that I'm dealing with. Within a short period of time, they had turned that house into a church. Did you see that? I almost got stung to death by Walsh. They had turned that damn house into a church, and they had me over there, worshiping and stuff with them, feeding my dog, acting like they loved me. Them son bitches had was over there trying to find out who owned my house to try to take my house away from me. He came and told me, he said, man, I was just wanting to know who's paying the taxes on. I said, what? This man is trying to get my house. And so I quit going to church over there. But yeah, just the other day, he told me that he just got through telling me that my cat is using the bathroom in his house, and he don't like that. He done put up with it. It's in his window. I have a wild cat, black cat. One of my black cats came up missing a long time ago that I loved, and I know he wouldn't have never left here. I do believe they did something to him. Yeah, but that man told me my cat, I need to keep my cat. He been putting up with it too long, but I need to keep my cat out of his windows and out of his backyard. And I knew he was insane then. But that man told me that I need to keep my cat out of his windows and out of his backyard. He gonna have to do something about it and all of this crazy ass shit. And I'm like, this is the same man that was crawling in and out of my windows. Don't you know that I set a trap for his ass? I was wondering who was coming through my windows before I put that fence up. And all of a sudden, my trap was set where my shit was knocked over, and I knew you couldn't get through the window without knocking it over. I don't give a fuck how old and strong you think you are. And one day I came home and my trap was set, the shit was knocked over, and God told me to look at him, and he was limping around hurting shit. And I knew then he was the one that was crawling through my windows. Not only that, he would go through my back gate and cut a fucking strip. You know what I'm saying? He would open up my gate when my yard was this high. My yard would be this high. And he would open up my gate and cut a strip down through from one end to the other on the inside of my gate rather than cut the whole thing. And man to man, not to mention up under my windows peeking, listening while I'm having sex. But what man, I don't even come out through this side when it get late, just out of respect for them. But that man was up under my windows crawling around at night, acting like and he's worried about he'd be picking stuff and messing with stuff way past my property line. But this man would walk. This man would actually, I almost got stung to death by the mosses. This man would walk. He'd open up my gate, that's why I had to put a lock on it, and come inside of here and cut one strip down the inside of this gate. He'd open up my gate and cut one strip down the inside of my gate, maybe two, disrespecting me like that rather than cut the whole thing. But he's telling me my cat, a wild cat that's a feral cat, can't jump in his yard. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been dealing with. But I've been documenting it too, because this is some insane shit that these demons, they just tried to sick some wasses on me and get me stung to death. See, I wasn't even paying attention to what I was doing. I had shades on. I could have got stung to death just then. But I'm a different type of person. God protected me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like them. How could you be pretending to love God and hate his animals? You know what I'm saying? So much that they can't walk through your yard. You know what I'm saying? How could you hate God so much to hate his animals that he made to the point that they can't walk through their yard? Look at that. There's a wasp nest a hornet's nest in my gas tank. And they were going to sting me to death because I got too close to them. They were hovering all over my head because of those demons I was talking about. Wow. What a wonderful day the Lord has made. And I know Jehovah. Look at this. Look at you. You're right there now. Where that miracle came to me a long time ago. Where my baby Houston name. I lost her in the street right here. It hurt me so bad. I love you. I wrote it in the concrete. Cupid. I miss her like crazy. But I know there's a God. And I believe I'm going to see her again. Amen. But that's what I've been through. The cast of the telltale heart. A part of my story. And it's still a wonderful day that the Lord has made. Amen.